Hello and welcome to Own It Magazine and Publishing. My name is Marisa Bludorn. I am your host, and today I have with me one of our top men of authority, authenticity, legacy, and influence, and he is Dr. Barry Ricoma, taking center stage and owning it with me. So excited to be here with you tonight. We're going to be bringing in some more gentlemen as the year progresses, but we are honoring our men, and Dr. Ricoma is one of those men taking center stage and owning it in leadership. And then in all that you're doing, we were talking backstage, Dr. Ricoma, and going in regards to what this really means to lead intentionally, to lead with influence and impact, and all of the legacy work that you're even doing right now. And so introduce yourself to our audience.
So first off, good evening. Thank you for having me on your live stream today. I'm Dr. Barry S. Ricoma, currently living and working in Hawthorne, Nevada. Still have a regular job as supporting the troops with the Department of the Army. I'm an author, best-selling author, and now I'm throwing my hat into the arena of public speaking, I guess.
Oh, awesome. Nice. We have at Own It, we've published so many magazines, we've published so many books. Just so that you guys know who Dr. Ricoma is, he is one of our contributing writers for Own It magazine. He talks about all his travels, and if you look at his backdrop, it says two-wheeler freedom. And he takes us on journeys around, not just around the country, but around the world. And he shares with us, he's been featured multiple times in our Lifestyles and Leisure Living magazine, as well as the Own It magazine for personal, professional, and business development. And he is one of our Own It X speakers this year as well. So we're doing a lot together. We're doing a lot together, and he is doing this major transitioning into public speaking. But that's what comes with authorship. So when you talk about being published, doing all of this writing and different things like that, it's only within a matter of time that people are going to say, oh my gosh, you're doing such great things, and want you to come and want you to speak. So share with us about this journey. Be authentic and transparent, and share with the audience a little bit about this journey. You started off, I remember we met each other, a few years ago, and you were in an anthology with Dr. Blackwell, right?
Blackwell, yes. Vanessa Blackwell. That's correct.
Yeah, okay. Yes. I wanted to make sure we have a few Blackwell. So I wanted to make sure I had that right. So it's Dr. Vanessa Blackman. And so share with us about that journey. You started off in an anthology.
Yes, my first book project was Joy 365, again with Dr. Vanessa Blackwell. That particular book pretty much set me on my path. Prior to that, I was just arriving to Nevada. Life struggles, starting over. I was 48 at the time. So new career, new location, not really knowing anybody. And then a fellow Army service member reached out to me with a proposal with Miss Dr. Blackwell. And I contacted her. She gave me the gist of what she was about. She was doing a book devotional. And I thought about it, a little bit apprehensive at first, because I never fancied myself as an author, let alone, reading isn't my strong suit. I like to travel. I like to go out and have fun. So sitting down and reading a book was kind of slow for me. So I gave it thought, I prayed on it, and I decided to take that leap of faith and try it. Talked to a few people, one person in particular that encouraged me to do it when I didn't know what I was going to write. That first book actually was a poem about mirrors. And to this day, that's kind of been my genre. I try to incorporate a poem in all of the book projects that I've been a part of. And I recently, here this past year in October, with your help, published my first solo, which it was a spiritual poetry book. So
Yeah, and you know what is funny? It's because I'm sitting here and I'm thinking and I'm saying, yeah, you know what? He has been adding poems to his writings. And so yeah, and you started off with this, you're doing a big transition, moving to a different state, getting, settled there and things like that. And you're beginning to write. And I know that writing is therapeutic to the author as well as inspiring and influential to the reader themselves. Uh, you talked about not being a reader and saying, no, I'm not a reader, I'm more of someone who goes out and I like to do things. And so tap in, we'll circle back around to the authorship, but tap into all of the journeys. Can you take us on like a journey? What was your favorite? Because in Lifestyles and Leisure Living, you allow us to come along with you and really to get a chance to see in your adventures. And you've gone some different places right there in Nevada. Share with us some of those journeys. What was the best place you went to, and what is the one thing that blew your mind when you saw the landscape?
well, that'll have to be from 2024, my 53rd birthday. Uh, I took a motorcycle road trip with my nephew Ethan to Sturgis, the largest motorcycle rally in America, and
Mm.
we did it old school. We backpacked and we rode 4,000 miles round trip. It was amazing. It was phenomenal. Got to see a lot of landscapes through Wyoming, Montana. Um, it was just an exciting experience, and that was just getting there. Once we actually got into Sturgis, just seeing all the different motorcycles, seeing the camaraderie, the people just like, so there's many people that come from other countries just to experience that. And they're motorcycle riders.
Yeah.
They'll probably come to the States and ride or rent a motorcycle just so they could be at the rally. And
Wow.
we had the opportunity to ride through the Black Hills, Iron Mountain, headed up to Mount Rushmore, which was very, very nice to see. Let's see what else we
Wow.
did. We coming back, we went through Yosemite National Forest. Didn't see Old Faithful, but we did see some steam coming up out of the ground, and we did run into some buffalo. Not actually hitting them, mind you. We just saw them grazing
Right.
and moving through the herds. So it was a very worthwhile and enjoyable experience. One that I will always carry in my heart and remember.
Yes, yes. What that's amazing. And how powerful is that to do it with your nephew? To take the time to make sure that he got that kind of exposure too, and had that experience.
Well, actually, it was unintentional. So, fun story. He actually called me up a couple months prior to that and asked me if I wanted to go to Sturgis. I was like, yeah, that'd be cool. When were you thinking? And he's like, oh, maybe in August. I was like, okay. I had to work around some scheduling stuff. But prior to that, the year prior, he had come down. He had moved to Idaho, and he came down to Nevada. Asked if he could come down and visit. I was like, sure. You can come down. We celebrate my 52nd birthday at the time. And ironically enough, we went to Las Vegas and went skydiving. Neither one of us had done that before, so I thought it would be an awesome experience, which it was. It was great. And then and that just kind of started the process of us getting together. Yeah, on my birthday, yeah, but that wasn't even planned. But he called me up
Oh,
and we made plans for. I think what it was is he asked his parents if he could go. They didn't want to go, and he said, "Well, if I can get Uncle Barry to go, will you let me go?" And so I was like, "Okay." So there it was. So it worked out
oh, that's cool.
beneficial for everyone. So
And that's cool because we have that in the Own It magazine. You're
mhm.
skydiving. Do you
Yes,
remember that?
yes, I do. I
Yeah,
do.
that's so that's cool. Yeah,
So,
yeah.
because
It's amazing how. Go ahead.
oh no, I was just gonna say, yeah, all the articles that I do contribute to Own It, I also post on my website, twowillfreedom.com, as part of my blogging.
That's it's awesome because now you can now we're at a point where many of you guys we've been together for years now. It's not just we're just getting to know each other. We've been together for some time, and just hearing that and then saying, oh my god, both of those are actually captured in the Own It magazine, and so that's
Mm-hmm.
awesome. I want to kind of dive into go back into the um, I want to dive into why we're here in regards to honoring our men. And so that the audience understands that first Own It magazine had decided that it was going to celebrate women. With my background in behavioral sciences and just watching and coaching and working with individuals, I work with both men and women. And so just watching the women, their relationships with one another, and the need for collaboration, the complication that sometimes comes with collaborating, and things like that. I had chosen to honor some women, to celebrate them, and we were successful in honoring 100 women last year in 2025. Women celebrating women, and that really the focus of that is really to kind of advocate for us to work together, more authentically, and in a more fulfilling and enjoyable way. Well, in the backdrop of that, because I love both men and women, I said I need to not just we celebrate women, and we focus sometimes a lot on women, and I always hear in the background men not being appreciated as much. And so my heartbeat went towards the men to say, hey, let me celebrate and honor our men. And so I didn't want to say celebrating our men. I wanted to say honoring them, right? Because as the head goes, so does the body. We want to honor you guys. And so that's where this was birthed out of, was saying like, we really want to make sure that you guys feel like you're loved, you're appreciated, that you're seen, that you're valued, and that you're honored. And so, with that being said, there's a project that you worked on last year that you participated in. And I want to kind of talk about that too, because I think that they kind of, are on the same path of, recognizing our men and recognizing the importance of their leadership and their impact. And that's King Conversations. It's the visionary behind that is Mark Wiggins. And you participated in that last year. Talk to us a little bit about King Conversations, how you feel, and your heartbeat behind what you did last year. And we're doing V2, which is the conclave, the high meeting, and how you feel about this project.
So, King Conversations was actually my second book, second book project that I participated in. Kind of got roped into that one after I started writing. However, that one was that was enjoyable because again, it was a little bit daunting with 365 because it's 365 and the majority, while there were a few males other than myself in the book, it was predominantly female. For a male author, especially just starting out, that could be kind of intimidating a little bit. But neither here, it was still a good experience. It led the way in. But moving on to King Conversations, it's all men. So we could collaborate and be men, right? And talk, right? So I did that particular book. I did my chapter on personal accountability. Again,
Mm.
from my military background, the 7 Army values, one of those is integrity, honor, duty, selfless service. Uh, I don't remember the numbers off the top of my head, but a lot of it is centered around personal courage, right? So a lot of it is centered around what you do as an individual and how you conduct yourself. So I took experiences from my personal life as well as my military life, and I spoke about personal accountability because at the
Mm.
end of the day, we're all human. we all make mistakes, whether that's
Right.
misunderstandings through conversations, unintentionally saying or doing something that may offend somebody. And you have to recognize that other people have feelings and they may not take what you say. Uh, well, they may take it literally and in an unintentional
Right.
way. But that's not to say that you, as an individual, when you're talking, may or may not have a tendency to put your own foot in your mouth and not realize it. So, personal accountability, own what you do, take
Yep.
responsibility to correct yourself, correct your behavior, and afford that individual, or at least convey to that individual, that you're sincere in your apologies. Whether they choose to accept it or not, at that point it's on them, but you can at least
Right.
attempt to, right? But if you go through life and you
Yep.
acknowledge or don't acknowledge your own transgressions, we'll say, then yeah, it's only under natural that people will not receive you in a positive light. And that
Yeah.
goes and
Yeah.
that goes back to your credibility and your character down the road.
Yeah, and that's the heartbeat of Own It, right? Own It is about personal, professional, and business development, in knowing yourself. And I think that you and I, in a previous meeting, because we've been having enough conversations, right? Was talking about self-awareness, and self accountability is that it's that self-awareness that's required. And I just, my heartbeat, I'm a daddy's girl. I'm a daddy's girl because I got three daddies. I got my heavenly father, I got my biological father, and I had a stepfather. And they all brought something different to the stage for me as a woman, as a little girl coming up. And I believe that the trio of them have been the strength of who I am today. And that's why this project was so important to me. And that's also too why making sure that we honor our men is always very important to me. And one of the things that's so important for our men to begin to do is self accountability, looking at self, doing the introspective work that's necessary. Sometimes, whether it's a man or a woman, it's not cool just because you know who you are and you know how you are to just say whatever you want to say when you feel like saying it. When you rise up in leadership, in a position of leadership, you take into accountability your impact and influence on others. And you want to help them grow, right? You want to help people change and transform. As you are transforming, you also want the people that you have influence and impact on to have a healthy transformation, right? And growth. And so you want to make sure that as you're communicating, you communicate effectively. And we talked about this too, Dr. Rakoma. We talked about being results oriented, right? So
Yes.
if we want certain results, then guess what? We have to show up and have our own accountability to how we influence or have impact on those results and how those results come out. And one of those things is communication. And so, what you on the edge? You on the edge? Do
Yeah.
you want to share something?
Again, I speak from experience when I talk about that personal accountability, because again, I don't always get it right. Just today, in fact, I misspoke on something and it wasn't received well. So I
Mhm.
have to take ownership of that. While I maintain that it was unintentional, again, it was the way it was received. So all I can do at
Yes.
that point is offer my sincere apologies. And at that point, that individual, if they choose to receive it and accept, then okay. But just be cognizant of the next time, right? If they choose not to, I
Right.
don't have any control over that. So,
Right.
um,
Yeah.
but other than that, I try to be as honest, even when it is hurtful. When when I do intentionally not try to hurt anybody, but when I try to speak my truth and what I observe or my opinion, again, not always received well, but it is my truth, and it's coming from a place of love. It's just maybe my presentation could be a little bit more polished, I guess, for
Mm-hmm.
lack of a better term. So.
And then sometimes too, the recipient is just the recipient, because the same work that we have to be doing, so the same work that you're doing, you know, others have to be doing that work as well. And if we're all doing the work, then somewhere along the line, there should be a common ground of one, reconciliation if offense was there, you know, and atonement, and some way of coming back together. There should be some compassion, some grace, right, in there. And so we could do the best. I remember at one point in my life, you know, and praying and asking God, and the revelation that I got was, I can't change anyone else. I can only change myself, right? And so with that being said, is I know I need to do the work for myself, but I also recognize that others have to do work too. It's not just me that has to do work. Other people have to do work too. And then sometimes you're going to come across people that are not doing the work and they don't want to do the work. And that's just going to happen. And so, you know, it's a part of growth that we understand that we could do the best that we can, but we can't control, you know, how they're going to come back around, you know. And it's not always that we're wrong when someone's offended. Sometimes they're just going to be offended no matter what you do.
Yes.
But and so I want to. So we go ahead.
I'm sorry. Since I've been on my journey, I've adopted the motto that trying isn't failing. So as far as I'm concerned, as long as I keep trying to better myself, right, I'm not failing. So.
No, and I wanted to say that it's that sometimes, you know, when we're dealing with others, there is a level of and people may or may not want to say, there's a level of manipulation too. Is if I make you feel bad enough, you won't tell me things that I need to know, that make me feel uncomfortable. And I won't have to ever feel uncomfortable again. So it's like we have to know too that that is true. We, you know, we do the best that we can, and you know, and go from there. And so with that being said, I wanted to switch us over because that was your first. I don't want you to give away everything, because we're on King Conversations V2, which is volume 2, listeners. And I want you to share about this experience. Now you have, okay, so you started off, in your next book after Joyce 365 was King Conversation. So now you went into your man cave with all your brothers, right? And so now I done latched you on and say, okay, you did that. Now come on and do this. And so we ended up doing, I don't know, you were in Unleashed, right?
No, I was not.
Oh, you weren't. No. Okay, so
no.
You weren't in Unleashed. You started with In His Presence?
Yes, I picked up with Words to Inspire, In His Presence, yes.
Okay. Oh, wow. Okay. I can't believe you weren't in Unleashed. Okay, so this is okay. So audience, Words to Inspire You is originally a single author, which is me, and it has 6 volumes. Now, as a book series, an anthology book series, there are 8 volumes, and we are into what, volume 4, going into
volume 4.
We're getting ready to pump all out. we're getting ready to pump. We're getting ready to pump 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 all out, right?
Yes.
We're getting ready to be
my fingers hurt, just so you know. My fingers hurt.
But listen, the reason why is because your editor in chief is like, look, we got to move. Enough of this writing. It's time to start doing stuff with this writing. And so I want to get that. I want to get it done. I don't want to rush through it because I want it to be that we want our words to inspire the readers, right? So we definitely want that oomph in there, but we're ready to take on the world, to go out there and to let them know that these books exist and that they really need to have them for transformation, to have that solo time. Because I always say, you got to do the introspective work. You cannot, if you want to move in greatness. So I don't care if you're developing a product, you're going to be a superstar somewhere. At the end of the day, in order for you to keep your momentum up, what are you doing? Are you meditating? Are you exercising? What are you doing that retreats you from the world, helps you get that, gives you the opportunity to have that Selah moment, that aha moment, those epiphanies? You have got to come away and be separated for a period of time. That's what Words to Inspire You, that book series, does for you. It actually gives you some time. It's a book as well as a journal for you to just step away from the world and just process some things that you are experiencing in life. And so, with that being said, after you started with being a part of the anthologies, now you were like, I'm ready to do my solo work with Sacred Whisperings.
Yes. So, well, to back up just a little bit, you talk about stepping away from the world. Ironically enough, my stepping away from the world was me having to deploy to Kuwait for 9 months. So the meditation part, the book series was helping me to keep myself active when I wasn't doing my work, my regular work for the troops. So, but yes, while I was deployed, I did the second series for Words to Inspire, and then I got the idea. I was still writing poetry on the side, and then I got the idea of writing a spiritual poetry book, and then I floated the idea to you, and obviously you jumped on board with it. You were very encouraging with that, and now that one attained success, being #1 on Amazon. I think it was 3 different categories when it debuted.
Oh yeah, yes, poetry, spirituality, yes.
Yeah, and incidentally, we launched that on my birthday, which was my 50th, 53 now. So yes, it was my 53rd birthday. No, was it 50? No, 52nd was skydiving. 53rd was Sturgis. So on this one, I didn't do anything exciting for my birthday, adventurous, but the book launch coincided with my birthday. So
yeah. That's amazing. And so now you're into King Conversations Volume 2, V2, the Conclave. Talk to us about, like, okay, so when that project came around to you, what were you feeling?
I was actually excited. I was surprised that they came out with a volume 2, because I thought initially the King's Conversation was just kind of a one and done. And I enjoyed it because it allowed me to share my experiences from a male perspective to other males. So, and then when it came out with the second one, I was like, oh, cool. This would be a nice little series to have to be part of, and jumped on board with that. So.
Mm-hmm. And it's amazing because, the way that we're doing the publishing and things like that is what's really cool is all your books in regards to working with Own It are on your Amazon, right? And so that's beautiful because people who just buy, you're on the cover as a signature contributing author. Even with King Conversations, the same thing. It's on your bookshelves on Amazon. How do you feel about that? Now, you've been a part of these projects, but you still have control of your inventory. You have control over, all of that.
I mean, I'm elated. I'm ecstatic about it. Like I said, the transition from Joy 365 and King Conversations, when they actually came out a month apart from each other. Joy 365 launched in December of 2022. Uh, King's Conversation was that January of 2023, and then they both simultaneously became number one. So for me, as a at the time aspiring author, to have two best-selling books in the same, literally weeks apart from each other, it was surreal for me. I was like, wow, maybe I am kind of good at this. I don't know. So it's been a
Uh,
fun experience. Again, it hasn't been without its own unique challenges. Again, just understanding the process. I didn't realize how easy it was to become a published author. However, the marketing is a totally different animal in and in itself, and I'm learning that still through this journey. But
yes, yes, yes. Marketing.
I've had a great time though.
Hmm. And marketing comes from doing like strategy. It's all about strategizing. And I'm glad you said that, because another part of the author's journey and the success of an author is public speaking. And sometimes authors don't want to do the public speaking, but it is the very, very thing. Your book is your business card. It opens the door for you to do the speaking, and also too, vice versa, the speaking sells the books. And so that's a part of the journey, and now you've entered into that arena of speaking. I want to talk about what's on your screen. I want to talk about your latest greatest achievement, becoming Dr. Barry S. Racoma. How you feeling, doctor?
Weird. I feel weird. It's different. It really is. Um, it's humbling. It's exciting. Uh, but again, it's not something that I would had ever thought myself becoming in terms of title.
Mm,
There was Sergeant First Class Racoma, soldier, leader, right? Then there was Dad, Barry Racoma. Then there's Uncle B, Uncle Rico. Now I'm Doctor. It carries weight, but
yes.
I admit I've had weight on my shoulders about calling myself Doctor. It's it can be well. Let me put it like this. So when I'm in my regular day job, there's no place for Dr. Barry. I mean, I can write it on my desk, but I'm not running around. Hey, you need to call me doctor, or this, that, the other. I'm not trying to project myself that way, because it doesn't align with what I'm doing for my regular job. But in
Right.
the literary world, the authoring world, that opens doors. And I have yet to discover which doors. I mean, public speaking is the first door, but who knows what doors will open after
Mhm.
that. So for me,
Yes. Yeah.
initially it was overwhelming, because I was having that imposter syndrome. Do I really want to call myself that? Because I'll be honest with you, I had people, not directly to my face, but I've heard whispers, calling me out. Oh, he ain't a real doctor. Where's his degree? Where's his accreditation from the university, or whatever the case may be? It happens. People are they're like you said, people are always gonna have something to say, whether you're doing good, whether you're doing bad. Uh, Again, I will go on record now and saying it is an honorary degree. It is not academic. I am receiving this prestigious honor because of the work I do as a writer, not any type of
Yeah.
academics or A+, right? So
Right.
there, I said it. It's
Uh,
done. I own the title now.
and
It's
I
mine.
There you go. There you go. And as I said to you before, it said, with the experience, and you've gotten your honorary doctorates in humanities, and you've done that. You've served that even in the military, giving to others and doing the work of serving. And so wear it and wear it proudly. And know people who are humble are not into accolades. We're not into the titles. We would do the work without the title. We don't need them. However, it does open doors for you. It does set the tone for you when you come into the room. And your work alone, without even having the title, sets the tone for you. Giving your service as a military man sets the tone for you. You deserve the honor. You deserve to be called Dr. Racoma. That's why I keep doing it. And I do it because we have to hear it to own it. We have to hear it to own it. It's not a prideful thing. It's actually, just like you said earlier, it's humbling. It's like, wow, and so, wear it proudly. I am very, very proud of you. I'm so excited. I'm honored to be working with you. I'm so honored to do work for you. And the best is yet to come. The best is yet to come. And I'm excited about the doors that are, opening up for you, and the opportunities that are opening up for you. I wanted to talk to you because we're going to close out on this because we can keep chatting. But I want to talk about your you don't have to go into detail about it, but you're getting ready to write something else that's major and big for you. You're getting ready to write another book of your own, on a different level, and you don't have to share because I know you're fresh into it. But talk a little bit about your heart. How sobering is it? The project that you're entering into now.
Well, I mean, it's very sobering. So the project I'm working on is to coincide with the upcoming ONIC X public speaking. So basically, it'd be my debut speech, or as part of, to introduce the book as well. It's very sobering in the fact that, again, I'm reaching inside and looking within to understand what I'm trying to convey, because the things that I convey in the book are the things that I did, whether they were good, whether they were missteps, my own shortcomings, and how I worked through that, how I learned to accept my own faults and push forward to not so much forget my past, but to learn from it so I could be a better version of myself. And hopefully, just like Sacred Whisperings, this book will hopefully inspire somebody who picks it up, that even though you stumble and you fall, you can recover. Even if it is by yourself at start, but eventually when you're trying, you're not failing. And when people see that, maybe that'll be put into their heart to uplift you as well, because two is better than one, right?
Yep.
So, but I'm looking forward to it. Again, I'm still working through the process, because again, I'm very, I don't want to say I'm camera shy, because I have been known to take a few 100,000 selfies of myself in the past, right? However, speaking live on a stage of however many people is not the same as talking to a group of soldiers. With talking with a group of soldiers, there was a bunch of yelling and me pointing my finger. I can't do that at only that. So I gotta learn the intricacies, right?
That's too funny. I can't see you pointing your finger or yelling at anybody.
Oh yeah. There's evidence.
Oh, well, I'm so excited for you. I know that this work is really going to pull on your heart and tug at you to go deeper and deeper in, and do, recognize yourself, and to see yourself and to see all that you've done. And my prayer for you is that you would see it in a way of all that you've given that has been good, because we're not perfect. We're not perfect, our individuals, we're not perfect friends. We're not perfect parents. We're not perfect children. We're not perfect aunties or uncles. We're not perfect. But we have good hearts. And I know that you have a very good heart, and you want to do the right thing. And when you see individuals like yourself, and just the model and character that you try your darndest to be, that you're conscious of, you just excited for them. I'm excited for your journey. I'm excited for you and what's happening. And like I said, my prayer for you is that you are enjoying the moment. I had a good friend of mine say to me, Dr. Sean Hoggs, my childhood friend of mine, he said, Marisa, as I was beginning to get my degrees and later in life, I didn't start getting my college degrees until I was in my 40s. And I remember him saying to me, Marisa, you celebrate everything. You celebrate the big, you celebrate the small, you celebrate all of your in-betweens. So my hope and prayer for you is that you get a chance to ease up off yourself and enjoy it, because you deserve to be honored. And I am so thankful to God that I have a platform by which I can honor you. And so thank you for being a part of the Own It Magazine's 2025 Honoring Our Men special edition of Own It Magazine. So thank you so much. And these conversations are going to be going on throughout the year. So I'm looking forward to you coming back later on and talking about once you've published this work, because this is serious work. The book that you're publishing now, your poetry was very, very serious, very transparent and vulnerable. But this work that you're getting ready to do here is a different dimension of yourself. And I'm looking forward to seeing the finished product. And I'm also looking forward to when you come back to hear about the, me and my psychology, right? So looking to hear about the psychology of it all, like all of those EI, emotional intelligence, and all of that good stuff, and just just how you frameworked it out, because there's different dimensions that you're going to focus on within the body of the work that you're getting ready to do, and it's interesting to see how you pull that all together. So I want to just say thank you so very much. Any closing thoughts for our audience?
Well, one, it'll be interesting for me to see how that process works too, because I'm still learning. But I just want to thank you, fellow classmate, Dr. Bladorn, for being able to present me in a positive light and be on your platform. Again, without God and your grace, I wouldn't be here right now. So I thank you for that.
Oh, thank you. Thank you so much.
To my future readers, please go on Amazon, search my name, Barry S. Racoma, Sacred Whisperings. Check it out if you like, and share with a friend.
Awesome. Well, we look forward to having you back later on in the year, later on in the next coming weeks, or whatever. We just look forward to just having you back. So thank you so very much. And audience, thank you. We're out.